From the city of Troy, I'm Frank Sinato, and this is TroyTalk Today. Today, we're talking to historian Kathy Sheehan about the Hart Cluett Museum's extensive collection and how the American Rescue Plan Act is helping preserve our local history. We'll also see how the American Rescue Plan Act is being used to improve our community gathering spaces, where we enjoy culture, history, and the arts. Let's talk.
ARPA funds are being applied to historical preservation in our community. They've enabled the Hart Cluett Museum to update its HVAC system, ensuring the safety of its collections. Mount Ida Cemetery has been restored with ARPA funding, now serving as a respectful community space. Additionally, ARPA funds will repair and preserve the Arts Center of the Capital Region's 19th century windows, potentially expanding their space. These initiatives breathe new life into our historical treasures, ensuring they endure for generations.
I'm joined today by Kathy Sheehan, city historian, county historian, and executive director of the Hart Cluett Museum. Kathy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
having me come on.
I really appreciate you being here. And tell me about the Hart Cluett Museum.
Oh my gosh, it's just such a great spot. Yeah, it really is. We're located right down in the historic district. I tell people, come down and visit us. We're between Russell Sage College and the Troy Savings Bank Music Hall, so we're right on 2nd Street. And this is an incredible organization that was founded in 1927. And we have 3 buildings on our site. We have the wonderful federal style townhouse, which is the Hart Cluett House. And then we have the adjoining Carr building, which is what houses our galleries, research library, and of course all of our collection storage and staff offices, things like that. And we also have the carriage house, which is also gallery space. That is the carriage house to the Hart Cluett House. So we have these 3 buildings that are just encompassing and telling this amazing history of Rensselaer County.
You told us a little bit about the beautiful buildings that Hart Cluett inhabits, but could you tell us a little bit more about the mission?
So this mission of recognizing every face and every story really encompasses the breadth of what we collect. And it really brings to the reason why we are here today, because in order to collect these amazing resources, you have to have a great facility. And having 3 early 19th century buildings, they're wonderful, but they have a lot of upkeep. You know, you talk about the Smithsonian's Nation's Attic. Well, we're Troy and Rensselaer County's attic. But we take that very seriously. People give us collections. They're held in the public trust. And so when we have something that comes into the collection, we want to be sure it is housed in perfect, great archival materials, and that the envelope, meaning the 3 buildings, and that's where the HVAC system comes in, is at that correct temperature and humidity controls, perfect settings to protect these collections. And the collections are amazing. They vary from, we have archaeological dig artifacts to, furniture, decorative arts, textiles, and all these things require different levels of humidity, temperature, space. You can't overstuff things, and all museums, we all struggle with this. This has been very exciting for us to get involved with this project, to get this moving forward, that these collections are cared for. And also we want, it also helps to be able to bring in our different audiences. We're always looking for new audiences to be able to come in and see our galleries, to participate in our public programs, and people need to be comfortable.
What's the importance of a system like this for the Hart Cluett Museum?
It's amazingly important because, again, it's one of those things that if you don't have that good balance of cool air and warm air and correct humidity, it could be very detrimental to the collections.
Yeah, what are the ideal collections? Temperature, what are the ideal conditions?
Well, it somewhat varies, but there's kind of a general, you want to maintain somewhere between 48 and 52% relative humidity. You want your temperatures a little bit lower, and maybe in storage areas. You don't want things too hot. You don't want anything too cold either. So it's always and so the wonderful thing about HVAC systems is that there's computers that we can log. They have data loggers, so we're able to go into the textile storage room and say, oh my gosh, this temperature's, the humidity's popping up a little bit too much here. We can go and adjust that, and that's wonderful because, when I first came to the museum, the idea of temperature humidity controls was, okay, we better open a window and turn a fan on. It was as crude as that. these new systems are great, and we'll get little alarms. If it goes over that 52%, there's going to be an alarm, and we're going to be able to zoom right out there and see what's going on.
So it sounds like, thanks to this American Rescue Plan Act funding, we're really doing more than giving money to a nonprofit organization. We're really preserving community history.
We absolutely are, yeah. And it's the community history that really encompasses not just us, because we also look at the different arts organizations that we work with, the Arts Center of the Capital Region, Troy Savings Bank Music Hall, working with underserved audiences up in schools like School 2 in Troy, the Sanctuary for Independent Media, who does all these wonderful art exhibits. We do a lot of joint programming because we can bring that history. We have students that are coming in, whether they're interns or whether they're here literally for a program.
And it sounds very much like you don't need to have visited any of the 3 Hart Cluett buildings to have interacted with Hart Cluett programming, right, or to be a beneficiary of this grant and of this technology.
Right. No, that's very true. Yeah, because first off, we have a great web presence, but I go out to schools all over the place, and we're working in schools. I go to senior centers. I'm doing lectures. We literally get requests from around the world, not just in our country. And so, whether it's a doctoral student or a 10-year-old who said, "I'm doing a paper from Scotland on Uncle Sam. What can you tell me?" I said, "Well, I sent a picture of his chamber pot, which we have in our collection, and all this, and the ledger, because he was, Sam Wilson actually was a trustee of the Baptist Church. We have the Baptist Church ledger with his signature on it. It's the real thing. This isn't Disney. We have the real stuff.
The real stuff.
The real stuff.
What is something that you're focusing on right now at Hart Cluett?
Yeah, well, we are looking towards our 100th anniversary. How has our museum changed? How has our role in the community changed since 1927? How have our collections changed? Our focus, this whole idea of really recognizing every face and every story is a big part of that. We're coming also on the semi-quincentennial of the American Revolution. And again, we want to look at, everybody kind of focuses the wars and things. No, it's a chance for us to tell the story of us of 250 years. And so, we're looking at that, and that will be through our exhibitions, our public programs, our school programs, and walking tours, the whole gamut. So it's an exciting time.
What's your hope for the future of Hart Cluett and the future of the collection?
I just want to see the collection expand again, to be able to get into audiences that don't know about us, for new emerging groups, different immigrant groups, people who have settled here in Troy, to realize that we're a resource for them, whether they're researching old houses that they bought, whether they are looking to just want to get a better history of the area, for them to realize that we realize that their history is important, what kind of contributions they made, so we really want that to be our focus, and to continue that story about recognizing every face and every story. It's such a small little timeline. It's such a small little words that has so much more impact.
Kathy, it's been so nice speaking with you today. Thank you for being so
much.
generous with your time and for coming and spending some time with us today.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you to Kathy Sheehan for joining us to talk about the Hart Cluett's use of ARPA funding. To learn more about how ARPA is making an impact right here in Troy, follow the Troy Now initiative on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and X.com. Thanks for tuning in to Troy Talk today. Talk soon.